Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion about the agenda or changes? Seeing none, it is approved. Okay, so the next item is the vote for vice chair. And my thoughts on this was to have everybody briefly introduce themselves. Tell us how many years you've been in Alaska, what area you live in, and anything else you'd like to talk about, yourself, and let us know whether or not you have an interest in being vice chair, yay or nay on whether or not you have an interest in serving as vice chair. Is there any discussion about that? Does anybody have a problem with introducing themselves and that sort of thing? And welcome, by the way, to the new board members. I don't recall your name, I'm sorry. Okay. Can we start with you?
Absolutely. Again, my name is Mike Liebing, and this is my first meeting with Platting Board. I am a lifelong Palmer resident, which adds up to 60 years. I have recently retired at the beginning of last summer from a nearly 37-year career with Otis Elevator Company in Anchorage as the statewide general manager and construction project manager. In retirement, I'm looking forward to the opportunity to give back to the community a little bit, and I really appreciate the opportunity to join the Platting Board. So thank you. And at this point, I certainly would not be interested in being the vice chair.
Thank you. Carla?
Well, I'm Carla McBride. I'm alternate. I started last year. Can't remember when. I've lived here 51 years. I was a teacher around Alaska over the years, and in 2007 became a realtor. And I really love being on a platting board. Yeah. I'm not so interested in vice chair because I'm not really very good at public speaking, though I do it.
Thank you, Carla. Sandra?
I'm Sandra Krieger, have lived in Alaska for 43 years. I have a background in project architecture, general contracting, and now I'm a realtor. What were the other questions I'm supposed to talk about? Oh, no, I would not be interested in being vice chair.
Thank you, Sandra. Eric?
Hello, I'm Eric Cohn. This is actually, I was in Alaska twice. I came up through the Air Force in the late 80s. In the mid 90s, we went back to my home state of Michigan, had the ability to come back 11 years ago and decided to come to the Matsu because we're older and I didn't think we could deal with the cold. And then, of course, how the temperature goes. So my background, I retired from the federal government 6 years ago. I had infrastructure was my background. And I've been on this board. This is my 5th year. Last year, I served as vice chair. My term ends in December. And I believe that the person that is selected for the vice chair should have more than 1 year left of experience. One of the things I would like to make a statement on is with Madam Chair's position, we actually have 4 chairmen in 4 years. So that's hard to get a consistency going. So I know you have several years remaining on your commitment, possibly if you do 2 terms. But that is something to consider. And nobody has to be perfect. And the staff is outstanding in raising up our abilities to run meetings and doing those types of things. So at this time, I would prefer not to be the vice chair. It's not a hard no.
Thank you, Eric. Chris?
Oh boy. My name's Chris Chavetta. I've been living in Alaska for a little bit over 5 years now. Live just off of Knik River Road. I got interested in the platting board because I went through the process about 2 years ago. It was that particular one was rather rambunctious from what I hear. So it got me interested in, I'm currently a police officer with the University of Alaska and also working on my master's degree in public administration. By default, there's only 2 of us left here. This is my first year, so if needed, I would fill that position. Just know there'll be a learning curve with Robert's rules. I'm getting a grasp of it from this and other meetings, but I'll try my best, and that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Amanda?
Okay, well, I would let you off the hook. I don't know. I'd say first I would be interested in the vice chair position, probably mostly because I'm bossy. But in reality, no, I feel I'd be well suited for it. This is and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's my 3rd term on the platting board. I served 2 terms as an alternate. Took a break for Matsu Ag Agricultural Advisory Board, and then they needed a spot here. So here I am as a full-fledged member. And very excited about it. I enjoyed platting. I look forward to the opportunity to come to the meetings consistently versus the alternate position was on call. And so a little bit about my background. I'm 42 years old, 43 in July. I've lived here my whole life, and I've only ever sold real estate. So I say I had a couple little jobs, grant writing and museum managing and little things like that, but always real estate. I like to say my dad tricked me. So right out of high school, my dad was a realtor, as you guys know, and raised me up under that. And then also was the borough mayor in the 90s and on the assembly right before he retired about 10 years ago. So I was raised up with the real estate development, financing, a lot of interest in that. And then also the politics, the Robert's Rules of Order, diplomatic decision-making process and all that's very interesting to me. So that's about it. That's all I do. Sell real estate and nerd out on real estate and politics. So that'll be it. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Myself, I've lived in the Valley for 31 years, and my husband and I own Papoose Milling. We've owned it for like 9 years. Yeah, I don't have much else to say. So am I to understand you're willing to be vice chair?
If nobody objects, if everybody's in agreement, that'd be okay with me.
Okay, I nominate Amanda Salmon to be vice chair. Is there any objection?
Well, I'll second that.
Oh,
And then-
sorry. Okay, and there's no objection. Looks like you got the job.
Cool, guys. Thanks. My dad's gonna be really proud. You're gonna take my picture or something. And
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
I'd like to move that we approve the meeting minutes from the last meeting.
Thank you, Sandra. Do I get a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Eric. Is there any persons to be heard about something that has nothing to do with any of the cases that we have today? Anybody online?
There's nobody online.
Thank you. No persons to be heard. There's no unfinished business. There's no reconsideration or appeals. So our public hearing today is on Sam and Pam's homestead. The request is to vacate that portion of West Independence Drive lying between North Deception Drive and North Craigie Court, and to create one lot by eliminating the common lot lines between tracks 1-1 and 1-2, lots 1 through 6, Block 1, lots 1 through 5, Block 4, Lucky Shot Acres, plat number 60-18 to be known as Sam and Pam's Homestead, containing 7.09 acres plus or minus. The property is located north Deception Creek, south of West Willow Fishhook Road, and west of North 4 Mile Road. I'm not reading that in parentheses. Within the southeast quarter section 02, Township 19 North, Range 04 West, Seward Meridian, Alaska, in the Willow Community Council and Assembly District number 7. So, to the board. Do you or any member of your immediate family have a substantial financial interest in any property affected by this decision, or will you recognize a foreseeable profit as a result of this decision? Seeing none. Have you received or otherwise engaged in ex parte contact with the applicant, other parties interested in the application, or members of the public concerning the application or issues presented in this application, either before the application or during any period of time the matter has been submitted for decision outside of the public process provided by the borough? Seeing none. Are you able to be impartial in this decision? Okay, very good. Madam Clerk, the mailings, please.
Yes, there was 32 public notices mailed January 14th, 2025.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Staff report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Matthew Goddard, platting technician for this case. The proposed Sam and Pam's homestead would create one lot by eliminating the common lot lines between lots 1 through 6, Block 1, lots 1 through 5, Block 4, and Tract 1 of Lucky Shot Acres, as well as the vacation of a portion of West Independence Drive. The vacation request would include the portion of West Independence Drive lying between North Deception Drive and North Craigie Court. West Independence Drive is an unimproved right-of-way that was created as a part of Lucky Shot Acres subdivision. A petition for the vacation of West Independence Drive was included as a part of the Sam and Pam's Homestead case submittal and can be seen at exhibit pages 6 and 7. The petitioner has provided a posting affidavit with photos certifying that the notice of vacation was posted at the proposed vacation site for at least 30 days prior to the public hearing. The photos for this are at exhibit pages 8 through 10, and the affidavit is in your handouts as handout number 4. Pursuant to Title Code 4315-035D, if the vacation is approved by the Platting Board, the Assembly will also need to approve it within 30 days of the approval. This is at recommendation number 2. A geotechnical report was not required as the proposed subdivision is not increasing the number of lots and is in fact reducing the lot density in the existing Lucky Shot Acres subdivision. Topographic mapping and as-built information were submitted as pursuant to code and are shown on the agenda plat. State of Alaska Department of Transportation and Public Facilities comments are seen at exhibit pages 11 and 12. They noted that they have no objections to the proposed lot consolidation, but request a plat note be added stating that no direct access will be granted to Willow Fishhook Road. This is seen at recommendation number 5. Matsuboro Pre-Design and Engineering Division are seen at exhibit pages 13, has no objection to the proposed lot line elimination nor the vacation of the right-of-way. Willow Caswell Fire Service Area has no issues with the proposed action, and their comments are at exhibit page 14. At the time the staff report was written, there were no comments received from the public in response to the notice of public hearing. After the report was written, there were 3 comments received. 2 were non-objections, and 1 was an objection due to concerns of impact on property value in the area. These comments are also in your handouts. In conclusion, the proposed Sam and Pam's Homestead subdivision and the vacation of that portion of West Independence Drive lying between Deception Drive and North Craggy Court is consistent with Alaska statutes and Borough Code. There were no objections received from any federal or state agencies, borough departments, or utilities. At the time the staff report was written, there were no comments received from the public in response to the notice of public hearing. After the report was written, there were 3 comments received, 2 non-objections, 1 with objections. The proposed action is combining lots in the approved Lucky Shot Acres subdivision, lessening lot density. Legal and physical access exists to the proposed lot. A soils report was not required. Staff recommends approval of the vacation and the proposed Sam and Pam's Homestead subdivision with 8 findings of fact and 8 recommendations of conditions of approval.
Thank you, Matthew. Does the board have any questions for staff? Seeing none, would the representative like to speak?
First, I just want to thank you all for serving on the planning board. I know it's a volunteer effort, and I appreciate it. And thanks for being willing to serve as vice chair and chairman. It's sometimes hard to find people to fill those positions. My name's Owen Dix. I'm a surveyor at Resolute Land Surveying. Sam and Pam are my clients. Just an overview of this. They've, over the years, acquired each separate parcel and hope to combine it all into one lot that they'll use for recreational purposes. The portion of the right-of-way, they own all land adjacent to the portion of the right-of-way the vacation request specifies. And I did want to address the one objection comment that I was able to read over. I couldn't find any basis in the code for the objection. I don't know that there's anything in the code about decreasing or increasing property values, and I noticed some of you on the board are in the real estate business, so you may have different answers to whether decreasing the number of lots or increasing the number of lots in a subdivision is going to raise or lower it, but I don't think that has any bearing on Title 43. And the comment I specifically wanted to address is the lady said there is already an unsightly amount of cars and tires on the property. And I can attest here today, having surveyed the property and walked all the boundaries, that Sam and Pam keep their property very clean, and I don't recall seeing any tires or junk or anything of the nature. So that's all I have, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? No? Thank you.
Thank you.
There's nobody here. Public comments? Anybody online?
There's nobody online.
Okay, thank you. So I'm closing public hearing. Well, you just spoke. Is there any discussion from the board? Yeah, he already spoke. Okay, I would entertain a motion.
I'd like to move that we approve the request to vacate the portion of West Independence Drive, lying between North Deception Drive and North Craggy Court, and to create one lot by eliminating the common lot lines between tracks 1 to 2, 1 to 1, and 1 to 2, lots 1 through 6, Block 1, lots 1 through 5, Block 4, Lucky Shot Acres, plat number 60-18 to be known as Sam and Pam's, containing 7.09 acres plus or minus. The property located north of Deception Creek, south of West Willowfishook Road, and west of North 4 Mile Road within the southeast section. Southeast quarter, section 02, township 19 north, range 04 West, Sewer Meridian, Alaska, in the Willow Community Council and in Assembly District Number 7, and adopt the 1 through 8 findings and facts and recommendations of conditions of approval 1 through 8.
Thank you, Sandra. Do I get a
didn't
second?
need
Do I get a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Chris. Any objection? The motion has been approved. Staff comments?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. This is Alex Strawn, Planning Director, sitting in for Fred Wagner, the Planning Officer. I do just want to say that it sounds like there is a request and need for some training. We have some fresh faces on the board, so I will arrange to have some parliamentary procedure training and to answer some commonly asked legal questions associated with platting actions. And what I request is that you have specific burning questions or topics that you want covered in that framework, please send those questions to Kayla and we will make sure that we are prepared to address them. That's all I have.
Thank you, Alex. Any comments from the board?
I actually would like to make one comment, being that we kind of ended last year with a couple of discussions. So I know we're a fairly new group, so I'd like to restate those for consideration of training and maybe moving away forward. One of the discussions that was created last time was the need to work on better community council participation within the process. We get a part of the staff process is to notify the community council in that area. Some are very good at responding while others are not. I believe that it's something that it would be good maybe, and it could be addressed in several different ways. Maybe each individual person could go to there and just introduce themselves at the next community council meeting and say, this is the process and we would really like you to be a part of it. Something basic. I'm not looking at something over the top, but I do believe that's a part of it. The other thing that as I've gone through over the years, and we did deal with a variance today, you know, a part of what we're asked to do is even though sometimes I disagree with some of the actions, if it's in code, we want to make sure that we are being very consistent with that. But when we're dealing with variances, we want to be consistent as well. And I'm asking staff to, when we get into situations where it really is in a variance and it's kind of an up or down, and it really is the decision of the board to be the checks and balances of if we're able to move forward. If we could get that maybe clearly defined that we may decide this or that, it would be helpful down the road, just because sometimes we have agonizing, I shouldn't have used the word agonizing, but we have public testimony that I identify with, and certain times I would be upset if certain things were happening as well. So a part of our responsibility is kind of to be that checks and balances and at least be able to verbally address those things within the process. And that's really, if you could help with that type of training so we don't sound really stupid or not as professional, that would be great. And it's great to be back. Thank you for giving me the ability to miss 2 meetings in a row. That should not happen again.
Thank you, Eric. Any other comments? Oh, Seeing none. Oh, okay, go ahead, Amanda.
I would just say for the record, thank you to everybody that put me up for vice chair, and I'm really excited about it. So I appreciate it, and it's good to see all you guys again. And I think we're all aging wonderfully. So I look forward to the next couple of years with you guys. So thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, I'm looking forward to working with the new board that we have. Welcome to all the new members, and we've never met. Yeah, I'm excited. All righty. Well, it looks like, is there anything else?
I just wanted to make a quick comment. There is not a plating board meeting February 20th. So we will not have another one during February. Our next plating board meeting will be March 6th, and there are 2 cases on the docket for that one.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Anything else? No. Well, the time is 1:28 and this meeting stands adjourned.